Hey guys, we're going to start talking about some of these really cool combos. These are both game ending combos and combos that might not necessarily end the game, but pretty much do the same thing. Alright, so the first one's going to be Maelstrom Wanderer as your commander with Food Chain and Mist Hollow Griffin or Squee, your choice. How the combo works is once you have Food Chain and Squee in play, you can use Food Chain's effect to exile the Squee. It will add red, red, 1, and another color to your mana pool. And you can do this an infinite number of times with Food Chain. Because you're able to cast Squee or Mist Hollow Griffin from exile, so you can create infinite mana this way for creatures. Now, the reason why you want Maelstrom Wanderer as your commander is because you can cast Maelstrom Wanderer then after you have infinite mana for creatures, and you can cascade. So you essentially cast every spell in your deck for free. And the way you get Maelstrom Wanderer back off the field is you use Food Chain itself to exile it, and instead of putting it into exile, you just put it back into your command zone. So you can do that infinitely and cast every spell in your deck. The next combo usually ends the game as well. This is Darksteel Forge, Mycosynth Lattice, and Nivenral's Disc. Doing this turns every permanent on the field into an artifact. It gives all artifacts you control indestructible, which is all of your stuff. And Nivenral's Disc says, tap it for 1 mana, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. So basically, you're the only one left with anything. And your friends will hate you for the rest of the game. However long that may be. The next one will actually give you infinite combat steps. This one's really efficient, and it's in red-green. It's Aggravated Assault plus Nature's Will. Basically, you just have to have 5 open mana, or if you don't have 5 open mana, if you have both of these in play, and you're able to connect with your opponent, Nature's will untap 5 lands for you. And then during main phase 2, you can activate Aggravated Assault, which will untap all creatures you control, give you an additional combat step, and then give you an additional main phase after that. So essentially, you attack with everything. Nature's will untap everything. Aggravated Assault you can use in the main phase 2. Do it again. Do it again, as long as, you're not losing creatures in these combats and you have at least one creature that's ridiculously strong. If you combo this with like an Ulamog, your opponents are just losing every single one of their permanents forever. So yeah, that's that combo. The next one is one that's pretty famous in CEDH. It's Isochron Scepter plus Dramatic Reversal and any kind of mana rock, as long as it's making you, more than 2 mana, you're good. This could be not just 1 mana rock, it could be multiples. It could also be mana dorks. It does not matter. Basically, what you do is you'll put Isochron Scepter in a play, and you'll exile Dramatic Reversal from your hand, imprinting it on the card. Then you can pay 2 and tap it, and then you cast a copy of Dramatic Reversal, which will untap your Isochron Scepter and it will untap all of your mana dorks, thus giving you infinite mana. This doesn't inherently end the game, but it does give you access to unlimited mana, which should theoretically end the game. The next one is actually another pretty popular combo, but it is not seen so much in CEDH anymore, just because of its fragility. Malcolm Keen-Eyed Navigator and Glinthorn Buccaneer. You just play Malcolm Keen-Eyed Navigator, have that in play, stick it around long enough for you to play Glinthorn Buccaneer and attack with it. When you do that, it'll do 1 damage to each opponent, causing Malcolm to create a treasure for each of those opponents. Then you can pay 1 and a red and discard a card, and then you will draw a card, causing you to deal 1 damage to each of your opponents. When you do that, that gets you treasures, and so on and so forth. If you only have one opponent, you can use Lonus Cryptozoologist or Nyxbloom Agent to make this combo work. So yeah, alright, now we're going on to the next one. This is another infinite mana combo. This only again works if your opponents have more than 2 artifacts in play. Otherwise, this is just infinite blinks. This is Deadeye Navigator and Dockside Extortionist. I guess it's artifacts or enchantments. Let me correct that statement. If your opponents have at least 3 artifacts or enchantments in play, this creates you infinite treasures. If they only have 2, if you combine this with something like Impact Tremors, this gives you basically infinite kill everybody. Because when it comes into play, Impact Tremors will deal 1 damage to each opponent. So you'll just keep blinking it until everybody's dead. Alright, the next one will also work really well with Impact Tremors, but is not necessary. That's going to be Dualcaster Mage and Twin Flame. Basically the way this works is you will cast the Twin Flame, then in response you will play Dualcaster Mage targeting Twin Flame. So Dualcaster Mage will come into play. Its effect will copy Twin Flame, which will copy Dualcaster Mage, and you will do this infinitely. So you'll have an infinite number of hasted Dualcaster Mages. So if you have Impact Tremors up, it kills everybody. If you don't, you have, you know, a Googleplex of a Googleplex of Dualcaster Mages with haste. You just attack everybody for game. The next one's kind of a fun one. It's good if you have low budget, or if you have the high budget, you can get this in 2 different ways. Alright, so first one is Squirrel's Nest. Second card you need is a land. Next card you need is Intruder Alarm. And the last card you need is either Kiora's Follower or any other card that would untap a permanent, such as Earthcraft. Now, again, if you pair this with Impact Tremors, it will also just end the game that way. But if you just do it without Impact Tremors, this combo is a 3-card combo that will essentially create you infinite squirrels, as long as you're following along with it. Because what you'll do is you will tap your forest, which will give you a squirrel token. Once the squirrel comes into play, it'll trigger Intruder Alarm. If you tap Kiora's Follower, you can target the forest to untap it. The Intruder Alarm will trigger, untapping Kiora's Follower. You do this an infinite number of times, you have an infinite number of squirrels. If you have Earthcraft also up with this, this gives you infinite mana as well. Because you can go net 1 on the mana every turn, or every time you make a squirrel. So it will infinitely untap all of your stuff forever. Alright, that's what I got for you guys today, and you guys have a good one.